You can have every framework, every script, every leadership book on your shelf and still wonder to yourself at 2 a.m. if you're actually cut out for leadership. Let's get into the honest stuff. 10 things I truly wish I knew about being a people manager. I'm Joanna, former exec at Meta and Spotify. After chasing big waves in my career around the world, I'm here to help you chase yours. In the next 15 minutes, I'm sharing honest, hard-won lessons from someone who's managed teams across 12 countries at some of the world's biggest companies. If you haven't caught last week's episode 7 yet, go back and check it out after this one. This episode stands on its own, but together, they're a pretty complete picture of what leading people actually takes. Don't worry about taking notes. I've already created a downloadable cheat sheet in the show notes. Let's dive in. First up, and this is a big one, you don't have to have all the answers. That was the biggest lie I believed when I became a manager. Especially when you're a new people manager, or maybe it's a new company and job. The first instinct for me was to pretend like I know all the answers. Someone asks a question, and you think, I need to respond immediately. So you say something, anything, and now you're stuck defending an answer you made up on the spot. That's not your job. You don't have to have all the answers. Surprise! Your job isn't to be the smartest person in the room. It's to bring out the smartest thinking in the room. You have a team for a reason. Let them think. Let them be better than you. That's the point. The second one is the delegation trap. I've seen this catch almost every first-time manager off guard, myself included. You get promoted because you're a high achiever. So when something needs doing, the instinct is to just do it yourself. It's faster, it's cleaner, and honestly, it's just easier than explaining it to someone else. But that's not the point. The point is developing your team, building their capabilities, creating a team that can function and excel even when you're not in the room. If you're always doing it yourself, you're not managing, you're just doing your old job with a new title. The third lesson I've learned is that healthy conflict is actually healthy and we're all better for it. This one was a hard one for me because I don't like conflicts. Early in my management career, I remember instances where I would just avoid a difficult situation and hope that the problem would go away on its own. Spoiler alert, it never did. But here's what I learned. Avoiding those conversations didn't make them go away. It just made them worse. The performance issues continued. The team member never got the chance to improve. And honestly, I was doing them a disservice by not being direct. So I had to learn, and I'm still learning how to lean into those uncomfortable moments. Because if someone on your team isn't performing, having that conversation is actually one of the most important things you can do for them. Maybe they don't realize there's an issue, and you can actually help them grow. That's the whole point of being a manager. Healthy conflict isn't about being mean. It's about caring enough to be honest. And yes, it's still uncomfortable for me sometimes. But avoiding it? That's far worse for everyone. Next lesson, you don't have to win everyone over. Now, I'm not saying be difficult or dismissive. I care deeply about the people I managed. But trying to make everyone happy all the time makes you less effective as a leader. And yes, I'm still friends with a lot of people who've been on my team. Quite a few of them have been helping me get this podcast off the ground, so thanks, friends. But be your authentic self. You'll make decisions not everyone agrees with. That's the job. You can be kind and still hold people accountable. One senior leader said something that stayed with me. When you're managing hundreds or thousands of people, statistically, there will always be people who don't like your style or judge you without knowing you. It's just a numbers game. But she said, I don't need everyone to like me, as long as they all respect me. You might not like the direction, but if you respect the process and understand the why, That's what allows us to move forward together. If you try to have everyone like you, you end up compromising your values and what you know is right. Number 5, letting go of perfect. So every person on your team is going to take that same project on in a different way. I mean, I had people on my team that are way better at certain things than I would be, or more creative than I would be in certain instances, right? They just tackle a problem differently. It's about embracing everyone's different approach. It's beautiful, and there's no perfect of anything, really. And this also ties into hiring as well, by the way. Do not hire a mirror image of yourself. That is pointless. Why? Because if you had clones of yourself working for you, yeah, you might be like, this is great. I can get perfect because everything's exactly the way I want it to be. But guess what? What are you missing? The complementary aspects. Think about the skill you rely on the least, the thing that drains you or that you always put off. Now, imagine having someone on your team who genuinely loves doing exactly that. That's the hire that makes everything better. Hire people that are different from you so that you can learn from them. They can learn from you. But hiring the same person, a mirror image, it just means minimal growth for both sides. And also the stuff that you both aren't good at, guess what? That's going to get dropped. Number 6, imposter syndrome. Almost all of us have gone through it, maybe some harder than others, some less, but guess what? Leaders don't have all the answers, and we're all trying to figure it out as we go. And that's okay. I think one of the most freeing realizations I've had is that everyone, and I mean everyone, feels like they're making it up sometimes. The senior leaders you admire, they're figuring it out too. The confident manager who seems to have it all together, they have doubts too. Imposter syndrome doesn't go away when you get more senior. You just learn to recognize it for what it is. A sign that you're pushing yourself, growing, doing something that matters. It's not a sign that you don't belong. It's a sign that you're human. Now, if this episode is resonating with you, I want to ask you one small thing. Forward this episode to one person you know who's managing people right now or trying to figure out if they want to. That's it. One person. It would mean the world to me. Number 7, you don't need to chase everything in the fastest, quickest way. Just enjoy the journey too. And here's the thing. This applies to you and your team. This is what they call stop and smell the roses, right? I chase things. And yes, this podcast is about chasing waves. And you should chase your waves. But enjoy being on the wave too. Once you catch it, enjoy all of it. Life is too short. You don't have to just look at the finish line and go, okay, but I need that title now, and then I need that, and that. Be happy with what you have too. When you're constantly chasing the next title, you model that frantic energy to your team. And if you're always focused on what's next, you miss what's now, the wins, the growth, the moments that actually matter for you and for the people watching how you lead. So yes, chase your waves. But when you catch one, ride it. Enjoy it. Let yourself be present. Your team is watching and they need to see that too. Next one is controversial. It's knowing when to quit. And I mean that in 2 ways. Knowing when it's time for you to move on, and recognizing when someone on your team has outgrown their role and needs your support to do the same. Early in my career, I was pretty good at this. If something wasn't working, I moved on. But later, with a family, bills, stability to protect, it got so much harder. Then I attended a private event with Stephen Bartlett, host of Diary of a CEO. He said, "I'm a quitter. I love quitting." And something clicked. I used to be that person. I needed to remember that. So what does this actually look like? When a company culture goes against your values, when a manager is holding you back, when the direction is fundamentally misaligned with where you want to go. Those are the signs. Notice them, acknowledge them, and then build a plan to move on. That's very different from quitting impulsively. You might need to sort out finances, timing, your next move, but don't ignore the signs because it feels safer to stay. The decision is yours. Make it. And as a manager, sometimes the most generous thing you can do for someone on your team is to support their exit. Celebrate their growth. Let them go. Don't hold them back because it's inconvenient for you. Quitting isn't failure. Sometimes it's the smartest move you can make. Number 9. I love managing people, but having managed people that manage people, managing people is complicated. And it's not for everyone. So many people feel like managing others is just the natural next step. Of course that's the goal. Of course that's what you should want. But it's just not for everyone, and that's okay. I really loved Meta's approach of having 2 tracks, individual contributor or people manager. You can make the same amount of money, climb just as high without ever managing a single person. Your career wasn't stunted. You just took a different path. And honestly, think about how many bad managers you've had in your career. That's what happens when people take the role because they felt they should, not because they actually wanted it or spent the time to develop their skills. Managing people is complicated. You have to really enjoy it and want it. And that brings me to number 10. It's all worth it. Managing people is hard. It's messy. It's complicated. It challenges you in ways you never expected. But it's also one of the most rewarding things you can do. When you see someone on your team grow, when you watch them achieve something they didn't think they could do, when they come to you and say, "Thank you for believing in me," when they go on to becoming amazing leaders themselves, that's the stuff that matters. That's what makes all the hard conversations, all the imposter syndrome, all the mistakes along the way worth it. So if you're a people manager or thinking about becoming one, I hope these lessons help you. I hope they save you from some of the mistakes I've made. I hope they give you the permission to be human, to be imperfect, to be authentic. To make it even easier, I've dropped a cheat sheet of this episode in the show notes. Or you can head over to chasingwaves.co to download it there. If this episode gave you a jolt of confidence, please hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And honestly, I don't hear from you enough, so please send me a message, send me a note. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Joanna, and let's go chase that wave.